My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekhar classes on data structures through C. This is lecture number 95. In this lecture, we will try to understand dictionaries. In order to explain this particular concept, let me discuss about dictionaries in Python. So that maybe visualization of dictionaries may be a little bit simple, isn't it? Just see. Basically, what is dictionary? Dictionary is a data structure. What is data structure? I already defined in my initial lectures only. Basically, you must understand it is a data structure. What type of data can be stored in this dictionary means it can have two things, key and value, isn't it? Key and value pair. What is key? Uniquely identifier for given value. Let me take one simple example so that you can understand. I am creating in the Python language, let me say I am creating a dictionary whose name is convv underscore factor, means conversion factor, equal to flower braces, means it indicates an empty dictionary. This empty dictionary name is conversion underscore factor. Now, after creating an empty dictionary, let me add keys and values. How can I add? Conversion underscore factor, I must keep in single quotes, this is key. Dollar is key here, this is key, 60 is value, isn't it? This is key value pair. Now, this entire thing is known as an item. Item consists two parts, one is key and another one is value. Again, let me add one more key and value. How can I add? Same procedure. Let me follow same procedure. Conversion underscore factor, this euro is key and 80 is value, isn't it? Yes. Now, how can I print in Python? Print convert conv underscore factor means it will print $60 euro 80. This is $60. This is key. This is value. This is key. This is value. This item 1, item 2, isn't it? These are the entries in your dictionary. In the case of Python programming language, if you want to find keys, just say what is your dictionary name? Conversion conv underscore factor dot keys. What are the keys in this existing dictionary? Dollar is one key, euro is another key. That keys will get displayed, isn't it? In similar manner, I can also display values. How can I display? Conv underscore factor dot values means it will display values, isn't it? Now, if you want to display items, how can I display items? Conv underscore factor items. Items, this is one item. Dollar is key, 60 is value, is one item. Euro is key, 80 is value. This is another item. How many items are there in this particular dictionary? There are two items. If you want to include one more item, again same procedure, conv underscore factor n equal to 50. Now if I print, how many items can I print? Item 1, item 2, item 3, isn't it? It is something like a hash table. Where can I store key and values? I already discussed what is hashing in my previous lectures, isn't it? Now you can visualize what is dictionary. Now from dictionary, if you want to delete some key, you can always delete. Based on keys, you can delete an item from dictionary. Del conv underscore factor n. N is key, isn't it? If I remove this key, it will remove along with its value. Now if you print conv underscore factor means it is dictionary. If I print, what will I get? This n key with its value will be deleted. Now you will have only two items. Earlier you had three items, isn't it? Now what can I say? If I say after removing, if you want to print conversion underscore factor n, already it is removed. If you want to display, an error will be generated. That is known as key error. Why? Because that key is not available, isn't it? Conversion underscore factor dollar equal to 75. I can update. How can I update? Dollar previous value is 60. If you want to update its keys value, dollar is a key whose value can be updated. How can I update? Dictionary name, square brackets, that key equal to updating value. Now if you print, what happens? This will be updated. In the place of 60, 75 will get displayed. Means you can search, you can delete, you can update, you can display the contents of dictionary. Now that is about that. Till now I discussed dictionaries in Python language. You can create dictionaries in different languages. Why I have I discussed only Python means maybe it is a little bit simple to understand, isn't it? It is searchable collection of items. I already explained what is item. In item you can have key as well as its value, key value pairs. Each item is stored as a key value pair. That's what I am saying. Item consists of two parts. One is key and another is value. Multiple items with same key are allowed in the container. This is depends on your language. Operations on dictionaries. Insertion. Yes, just now I discussed in my previous slide. You can insert by using key value. You can delete using key value. You can search using key value. You can search. If there is no key, it will generate key error, isn't it? That's what I explained in my previous slide. Let me take example here. Examples: telephone directory, telephone dictionary. Telephone dictionary means that you can have in telephone directories, you can have name as the key, phone number is value. A language dictionary. Language dictionary means word is key and that's meaning is value. Employee ID mapping. Employee ID is the key and name is the value, isn't it? I must close this bracket. Yes, that's what it says. For example, social security number in America, that is the key as name is value, something like that, isn't it? Basically, you must understand it's a collection of items. Each item consists of two parts. One is key and another one is value. This is ADT, abstract data type of dictionary. Find K. If the dictionary has an item with K key, item has two parts. One is key and another one is value. Returns the position of the item. If there is an item with key K, this find of K, what will it will do? It will return its position. If there is no such item with K key, it will return null. Insert item K comma O. Insert item O with K key into the dictionary. It inserts key into the dictionary. Remove element means it removes the element with K key. Size, it returns the size of the dictionary. IsEmpty is a Boolean condition which checks whether dictionary is empty or not. Keys, it returns the keys in the dictionary. This I already discussed with Python code, isn't it? conv underscore factor dot keys means it will generate it returns keys, isn't it? Elements returns the elements of the dictionary. In Java programming, I already discussed about Python. In Java programming, there is a method known as get method, which is similar to find, isn't it? In Java program, there is a put method which is similar to insert item. Where can I find all these things? In Java, you can find in util package, isn't it? In util package, you can find dictionaries. Yes, yes. Now, dictionary abstract data type represents searchable collection of key elements. This I already discussed. It's nothing new. It's not great thing. It's nothing new. It can access, dictionary can be accessed in random manner or sequential. Sequential manner, one by one. Random means you can use directly, you can access the item with the help of key. There are two types of accessing mechanism in dictionaries. Types of dictionaries. There are two types of dictionaries: ordered dictionaries, unordered dictionaries. Ordered dictionaries means what? A total order relation. This total order you might have learned in a subject known as mathematical foundations for computer science, or there is subject or discrete mathematics. Total order, a relation less than or equal to is a total order if the following properties holds. This reflexive property. This less than or equal to means it indicates relation. That may be brother relation, that may be sister relation, that may be greater than relation, that may be less than relation. Usually in the case of partial order sets and total order sets, they used to represent relation by the symbol less than or equal to. Just reflexive. Reflexive means what? A is related to A. A less than or equal to A. That relation may be, that's what I'm saying. For example, equal to is reflexive. Why? Because A equal to A for every A, isn't it? Therefore, less than cannot be reflexive. Why? Because A cannot be less than A. Greater than cannot be reflexive. B cannot less greater than B, isn't it? Reflexive property. A must be related to A for all A belongs to S. Anti-symmetric property. Antisymmetric means what? If A related to B and B related to A, then A must be equal to B. It is something like there is something subset A subset B and B subset are equal to A, means A equal to B. That is the antisymmetric. Transitive property, if A is related to B, B is related to C, then A is related to C. This is known as transitive property, isn't it? Comparability property. For any A comma B belongs to S, I must be able to compare either A less than A is related to B or B related to A. If you are able to compare any two elements, then I can say it is comparability. These are the properties of total order relation. This total order relation is a part of ordered dictionaries, but there is another type of dictionaries, unordered dictionaries. There is no order relation in keys, but whereas in the case of ordered dictionaries, there is an order in keys, but here you can only check equality between case. In the case of unordered dictionaries, only you can check equality testing between the keys, isn't it? Applications of dictionaries. Where can I apply dictionaries? I can apply dictionaries in a word definition pairs, in ATM card and its password, and DNS. DNS means domain. Each domain has got something like gmail.com has got some IP address. Google.com, this is a pair. Google.com has some IP address. Gmail.com has got some IP address. Yahoo.com, this is word and pair, isn't it? For such applications, I can make use these dictionaries. One can create dictionaries in the case of C++ language. There is a concept known as template. This the case is one template is another template. Other I need a structure. This case can be treated as word. E is a definition. But in the case of C language, if you want to implement these dictionaries, just take structure, it's enough. But whereas in the case of C++, one can make use templates. A linear representation means I can represent these dictionaries using linked lists. Why? Because this is key and its value, and it is the address of next node. This is key and this is value, address of next node. This is key and value and address of next node. Is it? Node means it has got two parts, first part and second part. In first part, this which one is first part? This is first part, isn't it? This is second part. In first part you have term, second part you have address. This is address, isn't it? Last node, this you can have null value in last node. This is a term word and definition. Word definition address. This is word definition address, isn't it? This I can say I can represent dictionaries in linear manner. Let me say what it says. Let me assume this is word, this is a definition, this is address. Word, definition, address. Word, I am choosing this first digit as a word, isn't it? Depending on the implementation, you can write this linear representation, isn't it? Just go through these dictionaries. Actually, I want to discuss dictionaries in the context of C language, but I felt it's better to explain in the context of Python so that you can visualize dictionaries. Just go through it. If you have any difficulty, just put a comment in YouTube so that I can answer. Thank you very much.